back, baby. Bitcoins, shitcoins, or NFTs. There's no greater feeling than hitting that sweet old time.
All right, everyone, welcome to another weekly episode of Setup Saturday. I'm here with 0xZer0cool. 0xZer0cool, how are you?
Hello. I'm pretty good. Had an interesting night. I had to sleep in my car for a couple of hours, but other than that, all good.
Yeah, that's why we're a bit late today, but we're okay. And I want to congratulate you because you were spot on with your prediction. You predicted 60K, so that we're going to be on 60K today. And basically, when you were sleeping in your car, we were at 60K. So congrats to that. You nailed it. So I'll adjust the score here. So it's 4-1 for you. So I have to admit you are the better trader. That's why I have you on the show. That's why you do the technical analysis. And that's why we work so good together.
True.
All right, so without further ado, let's dive right ahead. So I've got a couple of charts right here. So let's always start with the macro because this is at the moment the biggest correlator in Bitcoin. Bitcoin moves with the macro, and I think Bitcoin always did. A lot of people think it's the halving cycles that moved Bitcoin's price. Maybe it was in the beginning because in the beginning the halving was very big, but now it was only 1.8% before the halving, and now it's 0.9% the inflation rate of Bitcoin. So I don't think it matters. I think what matters is the global liquidity cycles and the credit cycles, which move together with the halving. So let's start with the interest rates. So the ECB cut there for the second time. So as you can see, it's right here, the Eurozone, 3.5% at the moment, their interest rates. Which is going down. And as you can see, all the major central banks all over the world are cutting their interest rates. And but the most important one is, of course, the US. That's with the dollar. The dollar is still the reserve currency. I think I read somewhere that the dollar is traded about 40 to 50% all over the world. So in comparison with all the other currencies. So it's like half of the world trading. So that's the most important thing. And it is expected to go down in September, the interest rates. How do we know this?
Soon.
Yeah, we can just...
17th?
It's on the 18th, yeah. So 18th. We know this by looking at the future markets, but this is only the market guessing. But why do I know it? Well, it's not really knowing. It's because all over the world, all the central banks, they talk together. And they want not that much currency volatility. So what they try to do is they try to raise and lower interest rates altogether, because like that, then there isn't that much currency volatility. So as all the other...
Better for the economy.
It's better for the economy, better for the normal people just living their daily lives. So, and as you can see, everyone is cutting interest rates, even China. So I looked it up, China, because it wasn't on this chart. So China as well, I talked about it in my video, cut their interest rates. It was only by, what was it, 10 basis points, 0.10 basis points, I think. So yeah, so it was very, very low.
It's still a cut regardless.
It's still a cut, and it's still, they're still showing where they want to go to. That's cutting, not raising rates. So like I said, the most important one is the US. And as you can see, the futures markets points at the 50-50. So, or it will be 25 basis points cut, or it will be 50 basis points cut. But everyone is agreed that the market will cut. I think Jerome Powell even said last meeting that they will probably cut this meeting. So I think they will just cut. That one is certain. The question is how much, 50 or 25 basis points. We'll see. So it's a 50-50. It doesn't really matter, I think. The only thing that matters is what Powell is saying and how the economy is doing. If they cut because the economy is bad, then we will probably see a drop in equities and Bitcoin. But if they just do a cut because they want a weaker dollar, so to improve exports, that is pretty good for risk markets.
Yeah. And be in line with other countries, I assume.
Yeah, that's it.
That phrasing.
And so one really important thing, what I didn't talk about last week is So if you just look at the futures market, which will probably be right, is that in 2025 the interest rates on the dollar will be under 3%, which is a lot because a lot of capital will move out of savings accounts and will move into more riskier assets. It will be trillions of dollars that will just move into risk assets. So equities will go up, real estate will go up, gold will go up. You already see gold going up. I will talk about it a bit later on. And of course, Bitcoin will go up. Bitcoin, and not only Bitcoin, but also altcoins. I wrote about it on my Twitter a couple of months ago. So basically, always when the interest rates go down, you see altcoins moving more higher than Bitcoin. I can show the chart maybe next week when it's time to move into altcoins. But I think we're getting there.
Yep, I agree.
Let's move ahead to the next chart. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show it here on my trading view. So basically, so at the moment I'm reading Michael Howell's book. Michael Howell is like the king of global liquidity. And he's also the developer of the chart, the global liquidity cycle. I'm sure everyone knows it. And basically what he's saying is that the quantity of capital in an economy is way more important than the cost of money. Cost of money meaning the interest rates. So what you have to look at is at the balance sheet of all the central banks in the world and see if the money supply is expanding or not. So just let's have a look at the world central banks. So this is it, and as you can see, I'm gonna show it like this so it's more clear with the line. It's pumping. It moved up higher. Like this was like a resistance, you could say, but global liquidity is moving up, and all this money will move into riskier assets like Bitcoin. So as you can see, global liquidity going up much higher. The only thing is, and like we said in the beginning, the US is the most important thing. The US is not going up. So as you can see here, since we had a top in October 21, which coincidentally, well, not coincidentally, aligned with our top in Bitcoin. It topped here US liquidity and it went down. This was our bear market, and now it's been stable. So that's the only thing we're waiting for. We're waiting for the US liquidity to move higher. And I think we will see that in Q4 this year with interest rates going down. So, yeah. And then I got one more here. That's the China, and China is just going up. Chinese liquidity is moving much higher.
What a chart. What the hell?
And this is probably one of the reasons the global balance sheet is rising higher because of China. China accounting for, I think it was 28% of the global liquidity. The total.
It's a lot.
So this is very bullish for Bitcoin. This is the reason why I'm bullish last few months. Another thing I saw as well was the MOVE index, something I wrote about as well in my article. The MOVE index is inversely correlated with Bitcoin. The MOVE index is also, for those who are not familiar, is the bond volatility. So as you can see, this is a very nice chart from Jeff Park. Jeff Park is the head of alpha strategies of Bitwise Investments. So they got like they're a Bitcoin ETF issuer. So it's a big fund. So, and as you can see, the MOVE index is inversely correlated with Bitcoin's price. So meaning if the MOVE index trends lower, Bitcoin is going upwards. And you can look it up on TradingView as well. So the MOVE index, let's take the monthly chart is fine. So, or maybe the weekly chart, we can see it better. So always when the MOVE index goes down, we see bull markets in crypto. So now it's going down. So this is right here. This was our bear market. MOVE index was going up. Now MOVE index is going down. So this is really bullish for Bitcoin. And I think this move that we saw here, so maybe still on the daily charts, this move we saw here helped Bitcoin going up this week.
Yeah.
So yeah, this was it for global liquidity and interest rates. One thing that was remarkable for this week was, of course, the gold price. So gold, again, hitting an all-time high. I'm happy that I bought some gold a couple of months ago. For those that don't know it, you can actually buy gold in the crypto ecosystem. It's called PAXG. So with a little bit of my portfolio in crypto, I diversified into gold. And it's doing better than Bitcoin.
Probably has it.
Yeah, Kraken probably has it. I think a lot of exchanges had it. I think you can even buy it on a decentralized exchange. But as you can see, gold going much, much higher. Let's take the candles back again. All-time high. And this is an indicator. We talked about it last week on the stream. When gold is rising, Bitcoin lags it by about 3 to 6 months. So you can be certain that Bitcoin will go up in a couple of weeks. As well, this is also an indicator that people are leaning back towards safe havens, safe assets. And I think Bitcoin will be a store of value as well. So I think people that want to protect themselves against inflation, against the expansion of the money supply, I think they will also go to Bitcoin. So going for all-time high. And then, so like I said, this is really, really interesting. It's from Kush. I don't know it, but I saw this chart passing in a Discord of mine. And it's really interesting. So basically, this is the fifth wave extension. And Bitcoin is doing exactly what gold did in the 1970s. And why do I think this is interesting is because I compare Bitcoin a lot with gold from 1970s. Why? Because at the moment, what we're seeing, the stagflation and the expansion of the money supply, we saw exactly that in the 1970s when we had a recession. It was because of the bank lending from all the banks. And I think we see exactly the same right now. So interest rates will go down, money supply is expanding, and this is exactly the same scenario as it was in 1970. Which asset performed best in 1970? You can look at all the assets, all the investment assets over the world. The one thing that performed best was gold.
And now we have digital gold.
Now we have digital exponential gold. and basically it's really remarkable. I didn't see this chart before, so it's like it's doing exactly the same with our double top we had in the previous cycle. Gold had the same, and now we are here. And so according to the fifth wave extension, this is like a technical analysis, how do you say it, pattern. Bitcoin should move up,
sort of.
Bitcoin should move up in the coming weeks for their massive bull run in 2025. So everything is aligning. So the global liquidity is aligning, interest rates aligning, even the halving cycle is aligning. And now even this chart, what I like as well, is aligning as well. So for me, we're looking for a good 2025 ahead.
260,000. Wow. It's probably not the target, but a total guesstimate. But it's a lot of money, yeah, for a Bitcoin. Damn.
It certainly can be. I saw a lot of predictions. One I like as well is from Carpe Noctem. He's predicting 333K. So that's a possibility as well. I think you can have everything from 100K to, let's say, 303K.
Yeah. I think personally, where it will shift from like where we see this massive insanely leg up is when nation states get involved and they're like, we want this as our treasury, and they start buying Bitcoin, like actual exchanges running out of money and OTC desks running out of Bitcoin.
That or just the devaluation of fiat currencies. That's also a possibility, like we see in Venezuela, Argentina. It's probably going to be a combo. Yeah.
But then you have like hyperinflation, I guess.
Let's hope that doesn't happen. It's like the quote from The Big Short. I don't know if you remember. The guys are cheering, yeah, we made a lot of money. And then the older senior guy looks back. But you know what this means, right? A lot of people will lose their home, their jobs. It's not good for the normal guy.
It's absolutely devastating. Hyperinflation is something you absolutely do not want, ever. It would ruin... You might be safe in crypto, but you know people who don't have crypto and don't believe in crypto, and they'll never be safe. So now we don't want hyperinflation, even though it means our crypto will go to the moon.
Right. So let's move on. So one really important thing is, I talked about it last week as well, the seasonality. So September, super bad for crypto.
I see we're green.
You didn't, yes, you were great. So you didn't agree with me that this works. And my explanation why this works was that I said we're in an election year. And every election year before the November elections, we go down. Why? Because markets don't like uncertainty. At the moment, we have 50-50. It's like a flip between Harris and Trump. We will talk a little bit about it a bit later because I think it's important for altcoins, but more on this a bit later. Seasonality is something you can look at. Let's say you believe in it. October is very, very green. So let's have a good October. I'm gonna go just real quick. I like this one from Carpe Noctem. So just checking at the ETFs. So these are the Bitcoin ETFs. We had like a massive spike. This was the highest net inflow since July 22nd. So
it's 3 months or 2 months, give or take. It's been a while since we had such insane inflow.
Yeah, and
is that ARC leading that I see? The orange?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Fifth
ARC
from the
and
top.
FBTC. Not much IBIT.
Nice.
BlackRock is going down. So yeah, that's also something why the price moved up probably, because there was a lot of institutional demand.
Massive inflow, yeah.
So yeah, a lot of factors, move index down, interest rates will go down, global liquidity is expanding, people are buying the ETF, so only good things. The only thing why I'm a bit afraid, but I'll talk about it later, like I said, is if Harris wins, I think, well, I'll talk about it later.
Okay.
Let's move over back to you, 0xZer0cool, and you can do some technical analysis. But maybe before
Bitcoin,
I give the mic to you, so we had a comment from Jesse Plena. He asked, how can I join your Discord? So at the moment, it's 0xZer0cool's Discord, and it's basically like a friends and family Discord. And I think we're not sure we're going to open it yet to the public people, but that's something we can do maybe in a couple of months when we have a bigger following. Then maybe we can, or we make a separate Discord, or we open our current one to have you guys with us, and then we can talk with us. You ready, 0xZer0cool?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Oh, I have to expand it. Yeah.
Very good. All right. Well, unfortunately, we're still in this massive range. There's not much to say. So yeah, this is the volume profile with your point of control, volume high point, low point. We reclaimed the low, and very simple TA. You just move from side to side. So next target's 67K. End of analysis. No, I'm just kidding. It lines up. We had this bottom here. It's where we streamed. We said we were gonna go up because it's quite simple, right? It's just pure like behavior of people. People are bullish here and thinking, oh, we're going to 100K. People are bearish here. We're going to 40K. Did I have my bids ready at 40K? Absolutely. Did I think we were going there? Unlikely. And I decided to go. This is our chart from our last stream, by the way, when we streamed. And my first point of interest was around 61, 62. We stalled a bit before it at 60K. I made a little tweet about it. Somebody pointed out some very good reasons why we're gonna stall here, and he posted this around here, I think. We enabled some indicators. We'll start one by one. We have our monthly open here in September, which was a big one. And then if we enable some VWAPs like this here, zoom in a little bit, you have the yearly YVWAP. So that's the volume weighted price action over the year, start from this year, and it lines up here. And then you have the quarter, which is Q3 that we're almost ending this month. They all line up, right? So this is a little cluster. And we smashed through the cluster, which is very bullish in my eyes. And now we're just doing a little retest. Volume always drops on the weekends. I think we're just gonna go sideways and then up where my first guess was, if we go back to our previous chart here, was here. And my plan was to have like, or where I was gonna scale out was a wick, slow down, make a base, and go up. that didn't happen. We didn't get the wick. We probably didn't get the wick because there was this cluster of stuff that I forgot to look at or mention. And we're stalling out now, and I think we're gonna make a base now. And the next leg up will probably slice through this easily. Like I said, the plan was a wick into forming a base and higher. This will be forming a base and higher without the wick here.
Yeah, I
And
think
the wick
it
wasn't
would
there
depend.
because
In 5 days, it's like the FOMC meeting with the interest rates.
Yep.
I think then we
4
will
days,
see a
yep.
movement.
Yeah. And what is most likely, and we'll go over that later, the odds, or if we already went over it, the odds of a cut is like, it's almost certain there's a cut, so the market is pricing in a cut, and we will probably trend higher into that date. I remember closing all my positions before the debate and CPI print. You could argue that the debate wasn't really impactful. I think it was. We saw some price movement around there. But yeah, I'm on a higher time frame, very, very bullish, right? We smashed above 60K, we just lost it again, but it's weekend low volume. Any big player can force a move here. We are long, or I'm long from 65.3 here. And we had this downward move, so let's move down. We had this like breakdown and recovery. We filled a little gap here. I'm long from here. I put my stops around 57, I think, like here. There is a good chance. The person I mentioned last time, D7R, has again a nice tweet, little thread from a couple of hours ago, why he thinks that we could stall here and go down. Another big one of it is that bid-ask ratio. So this indicator here, this is a pretty expensive indicator, and I'll probably allocate some funds to it because I think this is exactly what I trade on. So why wouldn't I have it? Why would I use free public information from a person if I can just buy this indicator? But point being the bid-ask ratio, so how many bids versus asks are in the book. Bid is like limit orders to buy, asks is limit orders to sell. The ratio in between for a 2 or 5%, it's a percent range here. It spiked up at the bottom, as you can see. It had a big spike when we were down here, and now it is trending under 0 or near the baseline of 1 again, meaning there are more asks, so selling, limit selling orders in the books than buying orders, which is bearish. You want to see this go up and stay sustained up. I mean, there is bid in the books. Yeah, so for Bitcoin, originally I had 61, 63-ish targets. I think we're going to slice through that and we're going to go to 67. That's how I'm going to play it, with a stop loss around here. Because this trade I already closed. I think I closed this for the debate. Yeah, move your stops up if you're still in, lay them in profit and wait, see how it reacts. I think we're going to go up. That's Bitcoin for me on a pretty high time frame.
Thanks, super helpful. Very nice. Let's move over to Ethereum today. So why do I want to discuss Ethereum today? Well, like we said before, it's an election year, and at the moment it's 50-50. Well, 49-50. So anything can happen. A lot of uncertainty. But why do I want to talk about it? Is because we have one. More, well, he says he's more pro-crypto, Trump, and then Harris is against crypto. I think she said it's money for criminals. That was Bitcoin, and that's why I want to talk about it. But I don't think Bitcoin is the most important thing. I think it's more Ethereum and especially DeFi, because she wants to put regulations onto DeFi, which is good, but I think she will over-regulate it, especially with Gary Gensler still in office. So that's one thing you have to see. So I think on a short time frame, let's say on election day, the 5th of November, if Harris wins, I think we will see a small drop, but we will see a big drop in altcoins. I do think they will recover afterwards, but it's still risky. For Bitcoin, I'm certain that it will go good. So I think if Harris wins, we will see a drop as well. But I think for Bitcoin, if either of them wins, it will be very good because they both want that the dollar is less strong, and so that there will be more exports. So I had a little discussion with someone on my Twitter recently that he said that it didn't really matter who wins. And I agree, but at the moment there is still a correlation with Trump winning and at the moment the S&P. And at the moment the S&P and Bitcoin is correlated, so there's like correlation as well with if Trump will win.
The odds, to win. Mm-hmm. So very cool, very interesting chart, this one.
I don't say it's because of that, but it's funny to see that there is a correlation. But I don't think it's a strong correlation, but I don't think this is the sole driver of the markets. But it's funny there is a correlation. I do think afterwards, after the election, like a month after, everyone already forgot about it, and it wouldn't really matter. I think Bitcoin will still have its peak in 2025, regardless who wins. But it's still important for altcoins. And that's why I want to talk about it, the @BTC. So this is the Ethereum Bitcoin chart from 2021. We had like a massive range, but now we're in a downwards channel. And if you guys follow with us, like from when we started in January last year, we said, be careful guys with altcoins because it isn't the time yet. And as you can see, just ETHBTC got like...
This is the most painful chart in crypto. If you've been around for a while, ETHBTC has always been like a leading indicator for alt strength. This is just down only for over a year. It is. This hurts my soul watching this. So that means we need to buy, right? We need to buy some Ethereum.
The thing what I want to say is this morning I bought some ETHBTC. So I sold some Bitcoin for Ethereum at here at 0.04, which I think can be the bottom. It will not necessarily be the bottom, but this can be the bottom. So I had my first chunk here, and then I think my second ETHBTC order is around here. So I measured the move from this range, and the 1.618, the Fibonacci level, is right here, which aligned perfectly with a support already from 2016. Which aligns perfectly here with this downward channel. So here's my second buy, because I do think we will not go lower than this box right here. So I think if you want to go from Bitcoin to Ethereum, I think we're getting there. I don't say this is a perfect time, especially not with the election fear, the 50-50. If Kamala Harris wins, will not be good for altcoins, and I think we might go lower. So this is like the only how can I say it? FUD, the only negative thing for altcoins, I think. Some people will not agree probably, especially in the US, because it's like really, wow, if you're saying this, they're getting crazy. I just look at the look at the data and how we can invest on it. I can't vote. I'm from Belgium, so for me it doesn't really matter who wins. Well, for crypto, maybe Trump, I think, but yeah, that's about it. So one thing that's also, so why did I buy is also because of the interest rates. Because if you look historically, this is a chart I made a couple of months ago. So here, this line indicates when the Fed starts cutting interest rates and when the Fed starts raising interest rates. So if you can see here, Fed starts cutting interest rates. So, and this is the alt Bitcoin pair. So this is the Bitcoin's dominance chart. So you see Bitcoin dominance going down. So which means when the Fed cuts interest rates, altcoins go up against Bitcoin. So which means that altcoins perform better than Bitcoin. Here you can see the same. And then so it's from February I made this. And as you can see back then, the futures pointed to already a rate cut in May. So
In
this
May.
is so remember. But yeah, because the stock market kept on pumping and pumping and pumping, there was no reason for the Fed to cut their interest rates yet. So and now they battled inflation. We got our soft landing. So I have to give props to them. I think nobody expected them to do a soft landing. So they managed to do it. So, but now we're finally getting there. So now the September rate cut will come. And I think alts will outperform Bitcoin. It's not immediately. So normally it's about 2 months after it. But you can like front run it. So you can already start buying, which is why I did it.
Allocation.
Yeah. At the moment, I still have more Bitcoin. So I'm not fully allocated yet, but I'm starting to buy. So this is like the first time in a year I started to move my Bitcoin allocation to Ethereum. And maybe in a couple of months further down the line, I will go to altcoins. But I do want to wait on our presidential election, who will be the winner, because it will be really important. I think if Kamala wins, we will see a big drop on altcoins, and then I will buy them.
I'm gonna go buy some Ethereum with Bitcoin right now. I had orders 10% lower, but
I convinced you.
You have very compelling arguments. I do think this could be a local bottom. I'll just allocate like 50% what I wanted to buy. It is. That doesn't matter how much it is. If you buy 10 euros or 1,000 euros or 100,000 euros, the only thing that's different is how you enter with 10 euros versus 100,000 euros. Where you enter also matters, but you've made compelling arguments to start scaling in. So I'm just gonna go log in and because
I'm gonna wait to come on your screen because you're actually buying it. I'm not gonna show your screen.
Yeah. I don't want to show my my portfolio values. I do think it's important that you don't flash, if you like flash a P&L card, that you don't show it in dollars but in percent. It doesn't matter with what you trade, and it's better to trade with low. It's what you can afford. I can afford to lose money, and I'm in a fortunate position that I can do that. Like. Not in a fortunate position that I can lose money. I'm in a fortunate position that I can support other people around me financially, and that also comes partly from playing with crypto. So, point being, your size does not matter unless you want to buy in $1 million worth in a shitcoin that has a $2 million market cap. Your size doesn't really matter. It's how you manage your risk, and we've been shopping for 6 months. I looked over my performance in 6 months. It's probably been one of my better periods, consistent periods in a long time. So I'm super happy with how that went. That's preserving capital. I'm pouring that into alts. I'm not cashing out. I have a little cash on the side to spend for my next Euro trip next summer, and that's it. All the rest is fully allocated to Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana for like 80%, those three, I think.
How it should be.
Yeah.
No, so
there's still a big argument. We're not going to touch Solana today, but there's still an argument if it's a shitcoin or not. There's Giga unlocks coming, stuff like that. So a topic for next stream, Solana.
Yeah. So while you make your ETBTC buy, so let me again explain it. So basically what you can do is, or you trade time-based or you trade price-based, and meaning is, so basically price-based, I wanted to buy ETBTC at 0.04, which is right now, which is the Fibonacci level from this downward channel from the breakdown as well. It was a diamond bottom. It's also support from like 2016. So it's a place where Ethereum can bottom against Bitcoin, where you can buy. Second point, time-based. Why I think it's a good time, it's because normally a couple of months after the halving, it's always a good time to buy Bitcoin. As well, as I just explained, when we see our rate cuts, which will happen in 4 days, it's always good. Well, and the data confirms it's mostly 2 months after. Altcoins outperform Bitcoin as well. So time-based is good, price-based, it should be good. Which will not necessarily that this will be the bottom. As you guys saw, it's like 4-1 for 0xZer0cool. He's a better trader than me. So I can be a little bit off of my timing.
Predictor.
But in the long run, this should be a good buy. which is how I trade. I'm not a day trader. I'm more like a swing trader. My time frame is more weeks and months, not minutes. So here you can scale in. So the whole year I was just in Bitcoin, and I think this will become a time to scale down into Bitcoin, into Ethereum.
Into alts, yeah.
Yeah.
Can you quickly pop up the Bitcoin dominance chart, the third ticker in your list?
Yeah.
I think this is also interesting.
Yeah. So this can top here as well. It's I don't know why I have the line. It's like
it's something we had from our streams months ago.
Yeah.
It's also where I have my line. We charted this when it was like at 52%, I think. Around like May, March, April. That's where we do these lines.
It can top here, but if it does this, it's also a possibility. But what I do think is just that it will
it's
just trend lower. Yeah. So it doesn't matter if you have exactly the top. You just need to have how do I say the trend? You need to have the trend right, not the exact top. Nobody can have the exact top on the same day at the second you buy it. It's impossible. Like we said last week, I made like a squiggly line here of my prediction, which is going interestingly very, very well. For the moment, for my line in September, it's going very well. It went a bit lower, but the trend is still the same. So nobody can predict this. It's just I showed it can be like this because of mostly time-based events of the US election and the interest rates. But yeah, so position yourself how you think it's best. Zero.cool, did you have your buy done?
Yeah, my buy is done. I will close my window. There we go. Yeah, all good.
All right. If you want, you can do some analysis on Ethereum or EBTC or
I will. Yes. No, but I'll cook it up. ETH has been a very painful chart, but I did post some stuff recently about the yearly open, which I personally think is super interesting, and I think is a very big level to defend. All right, so on August 5th, when we had our nuke, we managed to keep closing above the yearly open, which is the red line. Very important level, clearly. This was defended harshly on the 5th. Then a month later, the 6th, we sliced through it. We managed to close above it quite fast, actually. So this was a test, this was a deviation, and now we battled with it, we lost it again, we reclaimed it, and then retested again. And at this test, I was like zoomed in. It's like a 1 minute chart or 5 minute chart or whatever. And this was defended super fast. So clearly this is a level that bulls are giga defending. So from here, what's next? It has to be like at least monthly open. And I'm probably just to get some juicy highs here, which puts you into the 2,600 range. And that's where I'm going to TP. I've been long from over here somewhere, I think, and I'll TP over these highs here. I think it was Rect Proof, somebody who's publicly been trading for years. He did a public challenge from like $500 to 300,000, all traded publicly, which is an insane run, like a couple of years ago. He made a small, it's called 3-tap system. It's one of his favorite setups that he uses and he coined. And you could tell, it was 3-tap now. He's known for 3-tap, but he pointed out a pure tree. So you have your range, you deviate from it, and then you yeet higher, like this, give or take. So yeah, 2.6 is an area where I'm looking to TP this. If you're in now already, it's a little riskier to enter here because like the D7R guy said, the metrics for actually sustained bull run metrics aren't there yet, especially the bid-ask ratio is pretty skewed to downside, and that probably doesn't mean that we're gonna go to zero, but we're gonna keep ranging.
The problem as well with Ethereum at the moment is I just opened it. There are basically no inflows into their Ethereum ETF. It's awful.
No.
It's nothing compared to Bitcoin, which we were
had that
expecting.
giga
But
pump. This candle here, the giga pump on ETFs. I didn't trade that. Actually, I was short here. I got stopped out with small losses. Risk management was good, but I did not catch this candle. I was heavily convinced it would fill it up and retest it at least, which we did. Big deviation below it. Under it, tested it again. Under it, and once we started closing here, it was quite obvious that we were gonna nuke. And I think I have a trade from here, I think, to here, and in good fashion, like I always do, my trades are mostly in the right direction, but I enter too early and I exit. I enter too early and then exit too early. So I didn't catch this. I caught this already. Great move, right? This is like 10%. If you did it on like 2 or 3 leverage, it's big money or big percentage. Didn't catch this leg. Unfortunate, it happens. But yeah. ETF candle fully retraced. We're trading so much lower than the ETF candle. It's ridiculous. The meme that who was it? GCR said, "Oh, we're gonna see 10k Ethereum one day." Everybody's memeing on it again. He kind of turned into like the big villain this cycle, from being a praised god to a villain. I do think we're gonna see 10k one day. Probably won't be this cycle, but
maybe.
You never know. I think it is the ultimate goal for Ethereum. Not sure how we're gonna get it. The Ethereum Foundation is heavily selling. Vitalik is selling.
I think he put out a tweet that we probably will not see any more sells in the future or in the near future.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. It's a debate, right? Should the founder be public about his selling? Because if you see him move, it wasn't even much that he moved last time. It was like, I don't know, a couple 100,000.
And the thing is, it's not like a guy that will buy mansions or super yachts. The thing why he just cashes out is to support other projects, and not really investments. It's just like support projects. It's not really investments for him. He doesn't need any more investments. He's a billionaire. He doesn't care about money, so.
No, it's not his lifestyle, right? And good on him, I guess. And he also got a girlfriend, so that's also an expense. That's new in his life. ETH's a horrible chart, but you know what they say, right? Buy when there's blood and fear on the streets.
Exactly, and that's the thing I had in my mind when I bought this morning.
Fear. Yeah. This looks like fear. This here, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I had my orders ready here and I had them stacked over 20% with a stop at 50%, or like a 50% stop under here, which is insane, that's right. But yeah, that's just fear. I was preparing for the worst, and sentiment has never been worse on ETH, which is insane, because we traded it at like $10-20 at one point, right? So this is the worst sentiment I've ever seen on ETH, while ETH itself, it's fundamentally a good project, right? It's the backbone of most stuff.
Crypto is super boring right now. There's not a lot of happening in DeFi, not a lot of happening in NFT, no big crypto games yet, fear of regulations. So it's normal that altcoins are not doing well.
And from here to 10K is times 4. It's a super investment, right? Can it go lower? Absolutely. I've been trading inverse burps, which means that I'm basically trading with Bitcoin and Ethereum as collateral, which means I'm getting paid out Bitcoin and Ethereum as collateral. So I'm just stacking stats and ETH as like long-term gold storage stuff, right? I'm not trading in dollars. I'm trading in the crypto to stack it, because that's what you want to do. You want to build your base of the coin you have when it's down, and then you just ride it spot up, and then sure, you can sell like I don't know, I think 4.8 was like around here, like your 1.68 Fibonacci level. You sell some spots that you bought here at 2K.
I think I have still some sell hoarders right there.
You spell some spots, I don't know, you take 50% off, and then you have your original investment that you put in here, you take it out here, and you still own 50% of the ETH, and it doesn't matter. Then it's pure profits, and it doesn't matter if it goes to 0 or 100,000 or 10,000. It's pure profit, and you're not gambling with your money, you're gambling with profits. Well, again, in spots, not on leverage, right? Yeah, but TLDR sentiment on ETH, it's very bad. The charts look bad, therefore I think it is a buy.
That's how it works.
No, and I do think I had that 2.6 level that we talked about here. I do think if we smash that, PK is in the books, and then you can start drawing lines like this where it's gonna break out a multi-month trend line. And it probably does the crypto thing where it breaks out, everybody apes in, it nukes down, and it tests it again, and then goes anyway. When everybody's like, oh, fuck, I sold here, I got stopped out here, it's resistance now, I'm going to short, and then they get stopped out above this high. You know, that's how you get fuel for higher. But yeah, it's fucking everybody over is basically what crypto likes to do, or market makers, I guess. They like to print chart patterns that everybody loves because it's easy to manipulate. Yeah, cautiously bullish on Ethereum, I guess, and pretty bullish on Bitcoin.
Okay, that's our
one more thing.
Stream title.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. One more thing I would like to say is I don't think ETH will have its giga run before Bitcoin has another run. You need to see Bitcoin do a leg to here. Say it does this. And then forms a base here, and when it's doing this, you'll see ETH do this.
That's like the rotational cycle thing, yeah?
Yeah, that's your pinned mega tweet with rotations between capital. That's basically that.
And I think how this will play out is you see this happening, so the move up with gold right now. As I said, Bitcoin lags gold by about 3 months. So we will see this for Bitcoin in 3 months, and I think a month or so after we will see that for Ethereum.
Yep. Yep, and then that probably also aligns with elections, right?
Yeah.
If Trump wins, I don't know. Like I said last stream, I really hate trading on the fact that Trump might not win. He's not a net positive for anyone on this planet, so even though he might, and I say might because all politicians spew lies, might be a net profit for crypto, which I don't think he is, even if he is true to his words, which he probably isn't, and not even probably he isn't. I don't like it, and it aligns with the elections, as I was trying to say.
Mm. All right, want to do our predictions?
Yes.
Okay, show my screen. All right, so I gave you the point already. It's really crazy how accurate you were. 60K. Well done. So you won. So you can choose first. Where do you want to put your line for next week?
66.
Crazy.
I think it will spike like into 67. I actually I had orders to sell 61 to 63, and then I had a giga short open, like a limit ask stacked at 64 with a stop at 65. But the longer we consolidate here, I think we will consolidate here into futures open at Sunday evening, and then we will spike up.
So according to my squiggly little line, which is right since August, we should be at 62K. But the problem is because Trump didn't win the debate, and because he is lower in his odds, I think the market is trading that way. That's why I'm not really sure that it will still follow this line. But I'm still a bit more bullish, but I'm not going to give it 62. I think we're just going to... It's also possible that we will just have like... how do you say it? Like a drop on the news. What's the saying again? Buy the rumors of the news. So I think we can just sell on the news of the the interest rates that would
You
just
mean
drop
The
afterwards.
CPI print,
We have a
the
run.
18th,
The,
which is Wednesday, right? Yeah, Wednesday. Okay,
no,
that's
no,
3
it's,
days.
it's not CPI. It's interest rate.
Sorry,
FOMC.
yeah, FMOC, yeah.
That would just go
I've-
high into it, and we have a drop like on the day.
Mhm.
I don't know. It's
Yeah.
it's super difficult. It all depends on just what he's saying, not what he's doing, but also what he's saying. So,
What tie he's wearing, because apparently there's a meme if he's wearing a blue tie, it's dovish, and if he's wearing a different tie, it's the other thing. Like I've said every stream, I really, really hate that we're trading macro or trading on macro news. I'm not a macro guy at all, and people who are into macro listening at this will probably like scratch your ears when I'm talking about these data points. I don't like it at all. This is it's not my thing. But hey, I'm trading profitable, so I'm not going to complain. I need to be happy about it. Okay, you're saying 62? Is it lower?
61 and a half,
Sorry,
cautiously bullish a little bit.
Oh Jesus!
I just don't know. To be honest, I'm allocated. I have most of my money in Bitcoin, a little bit of Ethereum that I bought today with my Bitcoin, and like 10-15% in cash if it would drop. So I'm more bullish than not. So, but I just don't know where we will be next week. It's super hard based on fundamentals. You probably will know it better based on the technicals. Let's see about this.
Yeah, we're back in that. We have a giga range. We like deviated out of it, sort of. We or touched the bottom, depending on how you draw box. We're back into the midpoints. For me, that means we're going higher, which is towards like 60, 70k.
Alright.
67, 70k. Yeah.
All right, that's a great way to end the stream. We're 50 minutes in. We're gonna leave it
Sweet.
here. So we'll be here every Saturday at 1 p.m. Central European time if Zero0cool is not locked out of his house. No, so and if not, we will be a bit later, or maybe we do it on Sunday.
Oh.
But normally we'll try to be here Saturday 1 p.m. every Saturday. So everyone, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for following us, and I hope that you learned something. If you did, please press the like button, put a comment. So if you have a question, you can put a Twitter comment, put a comment on YouTube, or even message us if it's more private. We will gladly answer you. Make sure to follow Zero0cool on X. So his Twitter handle is under his face. So it's 0xZer0cool on Twitter. Follow him. He got very nice takes. He put out a tweet mostly every day. So, and yeah, that's about it. Thank you all for watching, and see you all next week.
Laters.
Bye.